r/AskReddit. What pisses you off instantly? Someone else messing with your laundry. My grandmother demands she does all the laundry in the house. I have to wait until she goes downstairs for the night to try and wash my things unless she leaves for a couple of hours during the day. The other night I threw my week's worth of laundry in. Stayed up till 10 even though I had to be up at 5 for work to put them in the dryer, fully planning on just putting them in a bag until I came home to put them away, only to wake up and find the dryer and all my clothes laid out or hung in random spots because she couldn't even just put them in a basket for me to deal with later. I'm still trying to find all my crap. People who say, "Good morning, come on, we can do better than that. Good morning." Good rattles and squeaks in my car. Not remembering what I clicked Google to look up, lol. Men who will only stop hitting on you if you say you are taken. As if they respect the other man more than the woman they are pursuing. People that always compete achievements every time they are mentioned. I might be saying this wrong. When the coworker with piss poor work ethic tries to point out a mistake made by anyone else. That could have even been years ago. In attempt to draw attention away from themselves or to make their mistakes look minor in comparison. My alarm clock. People listening to music on their phone in public transport without earphone. People who buy 20 lottery tickets at a gas station then proceed to get the teller to check all their tickets even if there's a machine designed for that. It would drive me nuts working at a gas station and the person would look behind them at the line forming and still ask for more scratch tickets or for me to check their clearly checked multiple times tickets that were definite losers. Lack of spatial awareness, I guess, is what pisses me off. Parents yelling my name but then don't respond when I ask them, "What's up?" When people are walking slowly or stopping directly in front of me. When someone calls me, and I just barely miss the call, I immediately call them back. And they don't pick up. What happened in those brief seconds that changed your current action plan in life? Fuckheads that drive around at night without their lights on. If you're doing it intentionally, you should have your license taken away. If you don't know your lights aren't on, you should have your license taken away. People who lick their fingers to turn a page over. It's super unhygienic and cringe. Animal abusers. When I hear through the grapevine that someone is talking shit about me, and then that same person acts like we're buddies the next time I see them person. Insults to my work ethic. If you even insinuate that I am not doing my job or taking care of my responsibilities correctly or at all when I know that that's not the case, it'll ruin my entire day. My mom used to do this thing where I would come home from an 8-hour work day or from being at school all day and immediately complain about how I didn't do shit in the house. Despite me being the only one who would actually clean and organize in the house. I am very sensitive to that kind of stuff now. Judgmental people who complain about your hobbies or interests just because it's not what they're into. Let people enjoy their own things. The whiny attitudes of preteens. The word influencer. Waking up. Bratty attitude. When someone abruptly hangs up the phone on me. Like it sets me off on a primal way that I can't explain. When I open my car door at a convenience store and notice someone who parked here before me had dumped their coffee right out their driver's side door because, fuck it, they're already in their car and fuck everyone else for the rest of the day. If you dump liquids inside the lines of a parking space, I hate you and hope you get an itch on the bottom of your driving foot on your way to work tomorrow. Getting blamed for something you didn't do. People walking slowly in busy areas or blocking the entrance to places. Earbuds being ripped from your ear when the cord gets caught on something. People who find joy in being cruel to others. Ever caught your belt loop on a door handle? People telling me what I think or feel about something. Or telling me how I should think or feel. I will decide for myself, thank you. Women who defend female abusers. Trying to open easy open packaging to find out that shit is not, in fact, easy to open in any way, shape, or form. Redditors making snap judgments on limited information are bad faith biases. When I tell my dog to come here, and he looks at me to acknowledge that he heard me, then does a little jump and runs the opposite way. When you drop something on the floor, pick it up and put it back. On a table, on a shelf, up against the wall, etc. And it falls on the floor again immediately. I go 1 to 100 immediately. Ironically, I am a very calm person in crisis situations. People who backstab others. They are nice to people, but when they are not looking, they backstab them. People touching and playing with my stuff without my permission, presence. I know this sounds strict, but I just don't trust people 100% unless I'm living with and loving them. For example, when I was in college living in a tiny dorm with a roommate, I had a Wii U and a bunch of other entertainment. I got a text from a friend talking about them playing Smash Bros. I came back to my dorm to find them on my bed playing on my console and using my controllers. I unplugged it and told them don't ever touch my stuff without asking first had they texted me while I was out, asking if they could play it. Then I wouldn't have a problem because I would know who to go to in the event something broke, was stolen or whatever. Just because you don't care if people mess with your things doesn't mean no one else does. Despite that, I don't mind people using my things. Just fucking ask first. Advertising. Chewing loudly. It actually infuriates me. I am not very easily irritated generally speaking. But as soon as I hear someone chewing obnoxiously, I find myself boiling with rage, and that is not an exaggeration. Edit. Especially in settings where there is no other noise because people are trying to focus. At work, in an office? In a study hall? How can you possibly hear that your eating is the only disruptive sound in the room and still have the ignorance to do it? How do you make it to adulthood without anyone telling you that's not okay? I am getting worked up just typing this. Giant sink bowls but tiny faucets that make your hands touch the back of it. What was the point of the big-ass sink bowl? Influencer, Instagram, adsy. No, they just trying to make a living, but it just comes across fake. As an American, Americans believing the world revolves around them. Drivers who don't respect learner drivers on the road and do things specifically to stress them out. Up their ass at a red light. Honking at them as soon as the light goes green. Overtaking and driving around them in a dangerous situation. When just a few people at work are slacking but comments are made in a staff meeting that should be directed at them specifically. That can be really demoralizing. Talking with food in your mouth. People who spend their time hating on other people's interests, passions, hobbies, fandoms, etc. If you don't like it, don't interact with it. It's that simple. Just let people enjoy what they want to enjoy. Double standards. When people who are shitting on service workers, causing them to get visibly angry, then follow up with, "You don't have to work here." You know, making the employee look bad for reacting to someone treating them subhuman. Famous people getting away with stuff that I would go to prison for. Lately? Everything. When someone talks to people who are fluent in English but have an accent in a condescending, ignorant manner as if they aren't as smart as them. People being rude to waiters. In the bagging area, an unexpected item. When I see someone smoking in a car with kids in the back. Especially when the windows are closed. This makes me want to get physically aggressive. Stepping in something wet with my socks on. When someone tells me to do something I am already doing. This is kind of niche, but I feel like I get more upset when someone knocks on the door when I am in the bathroom than I should. When someone doesn't put their shopping cart back or use a turn signal. Hearing the statement, "We have to do something," after every school shooting. Jerks who insist I will change my mind about not wanting kids. Just people in general. People trying to talk to me while I am watching something and then getting pissy at me because I wasn't listening to them. When two people are walking towards you on the sidewalk but they fail to fall into a single column. So you have to resort to going into the street or onto the grass to avoid colliding with them. Unnecessarily loud people. If you can't get the point across quietly, raising your voice won't change anything. People who have no manners. Selfishness. People are just so selfish they think they own everything, including the space we share. Like drivers who think they can just cut in wherever they damn well please. People who take up the walking space on a sidewalk or in a store. People who just leave their shit out for others to deal with. People who don't let others off things, elevators, subways, etc., while they try to get on. Ads claiming a cure for an incurable disease. I have psoriasis. Treatable, not curable. And advertisements for cures instantly infuriate me. Preying on sick people. Seeing people playing on their phones while driving. I can understand a phone call. But just straight up playing on it. Unnecessary high beams. Clueless, inattentive drivers. You are shoving a 4,000 lb hunk of metal down the road at 80 miles per hour and you don't even have the decency to look at the F******ing road? Catcalling. People who don't follow through on things they say they'll do. And people who won't tell you what they want. They just expect you to do it without any indication whatsoever. Plastic packaging that says tear here that does not tear there. It does tear anywhere. Passive-aggressive comments. You got a problem? Just say it. Disrespectful, degrading, and/or aggressive behavior towards a child. When someone who has no idea what they're talking about argues with me about something I am an expert in. Loud. Screaming. Disruptive and destructive children and the entitled parents that don't parent them. It makes my ovaries shrivel up and die. The only exception is children with special needs. That's it. That's technology not working for no reason. A massive unjustified ego. People tailgating. It makes it harder for you to overtake me. You have to pull out then accelerate. It makes it more likely you'll hit me if I brake suddenly. So I slow down to make more room in front to prevent me needing to emergency stop. I will also make it difficult for you to overtake because I can be a cunt too. Loud chewer and remember someone leaving your room without closing the door? Yeah. PPL cutting in line. People who claim credit for someone else's work. Trash left around an otherwise beautiful park. Especially when there are trash cans clearly available and visible. So many things when people are unnecessarily loud, are disrespectful people etc. Going to the restroom and finding there's no toilet paper. People not going when the light turns green. Come on people. Put the goddamn phone down. Pay attention to the road. Irresponsible pet owners. Today's society. People who hit both the up and down buttons when waiting for an elevator. When somebody stays in the middle of stairs or doors move bitch, stop blocking the passage. Campers in the fast lane. People who constantly talk over people and won't shut up. People who become entitled when they have kids. Like I have 3 kids so or well try having kids. People who always play the victim. Calm down. People who don't take responsibility for their mistakes. People who abuse and/or use their kids. Sometimes I think there needs to be a license to raise kids. When I go camping and people at a nearby campsite are blasting their music on a Bluetooth speaker. I didn't come to the woods to hear your music. Asshole. People who stop you on the sidewalk to sell you their ideologies or products. They are the real-life equivalent of pop-up windows. Bullying. I don't even have to be the target. Just seeing it happen sets me right off. Then there are a lot of other things that fall under that umbrella. But ultimately, They're forms of bullying. I go from 0 to 100 and always get involved. Nothing stops a bully quicker than getting their ass bullied. When I wake up and see my phone didn't charge and is almost drained. Video games cause mass shootings. Nothing angers me more than that argument. When I get a message, email or otherwise, with the word ASAP. People who are rude and judgmental without getting to know you. People who jump the queue and pretend they didn't see the queue. People whose identity is their political party or sports team. People that think they can just turn up to my house unannounced. I know it doesn't bother a lot of people, but to me it shows such little respect for both my sacred space and my personal time. I put a stop to that real quick. Being micromanaged to an unhealthy degree, and especially when it can be something like going to the bathroom during work. Subscribe for more content.